Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Ashley. Today is day 9 of our Need to Know November fast. Now if you're just joining us, you can always go back and check out the other videos that we have done this month. We are talking about a different topic every single day of November, trying to get you guys caught up on what water fasting is, intermittent fasting, autophagy, what the benefits of fasting, everything about fasting. We are talking about it this month. One different topic every single day. Now, also, we are trying to attempt to do some kind of fast every single day, whether it's OMAD or intermittent fasting or water fasting or regular fasting. That's totally your call, but hopefully you guys can stay with us and we can help motivate each other. So today, let's go ahead and talk about our topic, which is what is intermittent fasting. Now, I know I've talked about this in a couple other videos, but there are people who watch my videos without seeing the other ones before, so that's totally fine. Intermittent fasting is a great way to introduce your body to the idea of fasting. A lot of people hear the word fast and they kind of freak out. Intermittent fasting is also something that you hear a lot with keto people. That's kind of where I learned about it, and it's a really great practice. I think even if you're not going to be doing extended fasting, I think intermittent fasting is definitely the way to go. Basically what it is just creating yourself an eating window. That's it. So that's whether or not you want to eat throughout the entire day. You kind of shorten it down a little bit with intermittent fasting. So at the very bottom, we have an 8-16, which is 8-hour eating window followed by a 16-hour fast. Now, most of the time, people, when they start with an 8-16, most of the fast is done while they're sleeping. So that looks something like eat your first meal at 10, eat your last meal at 6, and cut it off, and that's it. Then you wake up and do the same thing, and you do that while you feel comfortable. So that could take, 1 week, that could take a couple of days. Maybe you're ready to bump it up. So then you go to a 7-17. Then you go to, a 6-18. And then, you keep going and keep going and keep going. As soon as you feel comfortable, you bump it up. Pretty soon you're going to be at 23-1. Okay, so you're doing, or I should say a 1-23, because 1 hour eating window, 23-hour fast. When I was working, like last year, when I first started fasting, I was doing literally a half an hour eating window. And so 24 hours really wasn't that big of a deal. So I would do that a couple of times a week. I saw really great results and I felt really good. When I was trying to when I was eating, I should say, I was getting in all the nutrients that I needed. So I wasn't feeling any brain fog or any kind of electrolyte imbalance or anything like that. That's one of the main questions that people ask is, what do you eat during an intermittent fast? When you do, especially keto, so I'm going to use that as an example. When you're doing keto, you start keto out at 3 meals. The idea is to cut down the times that your body is going to shoot out insulin, because that is what is keeping our bodies in the calorie, burning, not really the fat burning stage. That's what I'm trying to get at. So the more you eat, the more insulin you need, the more insulin resistance you tend to build up, and it's just not a good thing. So what intermittent fasting does is it cuts down the need for insulin to be released. So you cut your 3 meals down to 2. Then you cut it down to 1. So by the time you get down to 1, your nutritional needs are going to be different than somebody who is just beginning and still needs those 3 meals a day. Still try, when I was doing intermittent fasting and I was only eating, and within a half an hour, it was actually my lunch break, I was still getting 1,400 calories. I'd say between 1,200 and 1,400 calories. And the way that I would do that is a huge, gigantic salad, tons of leafy greens. I would do some kind of protein, so either beef or chicken. I would do maybe a handful of nuts. I would do some cheese. I would do tomatoes and cucumbers. I would do maybe a bulletproof coffee, maybe something like that. But you really build it up to where you're getting the most nutrients in your meal. Now, your meal might only be 800 calories, but by the time if you go through all the steps properly, by the time you get down to only 1 meal a day, you're only going to need between probably 900 and 1,200 calories technically speaking. Now, I can't put a blanket statement out there like that because everybody's different and everybody's needs are going to be different. But in general, that is kind of what it's going to be. And it's okay to actually do a smaller meal as your OMAD because you might just not be hungry. That's the other thing too. A lot of people have experienced just the hunger going away, which is actually really good because then you can actually push yourself a little bit, do a 24-hour fast a couple of times a week. You're going to get benefits from that as well. So I hope that gives you guys an idea of kind of what intermittent fasting is. Another question right before I go is people want to know when the best time to do intermittent fasting is or OMAD. It's whatever works for you, as long as it's a consecutive time. So you can't do like, 12 hours and then eat and then expect to, do 8 hours and then eat. And then if you are going to do like an 8-16, make sure it's a consecutive 8 hours for your eating window and then a consecutive 16-hour fast. Same thing with your OMAD. You don't want to have to, so just make sure it's consistent. Okay, and consecutive too. You don't want to break it up to where it's like choppy. I'm going to eat this one time and then fast 2 hours and then eat, and then make sure it's consistent. That's the only thing. But it's ultimately up to you what times you do it. Okay, so if you feel comfortable fasting through the day, have your one meal at nighttime, do that. That's totally up to you. Sometimes work schedules are weird. You just have to kind of sit down and figure out when the best time is for you to not only have your meals, but also fast. Okay. And so when you first start intermittent fasting, start with the three meals. Then once you do that, if you feel like you're just not hungry, you're trying to push those meals together and maybe have 2 bigger meals. Then by the time you get to the one meal, it's going to be smaller, but it should be more nutrient dense. Okay. So hopefully that gave you guys something to think about. As always, I will probably check in tomorrow. It'll be the 10th day of our Need to Know November fast. I am eating today, and I'm going to attempt to do a fast tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. But as always, we'll just keep pushing forward. So I hope you guys are well. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to share the video if you know anybody who needs to know some things about fasting or is interested in starting fasting. We are doing a different topic every single day. So I will check in with you guys tomorrow for our day 10.